It's Valerie Myers. I am a candidate for the Republican nomination to become Georgia's 8th Congressional District Representative in the U.S. House of Representatives. And I told you we would do more videos, so we're doing more videos. I just wanted to talk about 3 subjects quickly tonight: the economy, term limits, and pay cuts for members of Congress. So let's get right to it. I posted a note today on Facebook about my thoughts on the economy as it stands, and I just want people who are viewing this video to understand where I'm coming from. And basically, when I say this, we are in a managed economy. We do not have a free market economy. We exist in what I would call a corporatist state right now, or what some others might classify as mercantilism, or even others would classify as fascism or National Socialism. Whatever you want to call it, it's not capitalism. The problems that happened with the technology bubble in the early 2000s were not the result of capitalism. The collapse of the housing industry in the mid-2000s is not capitalism. And what happened with the financial and banking industry last year is not capitalism. And any kind of bailouts to preserve or protect an industry is definitely not capitalism. So I posted that note today on Facebook about my ideas for ways to improve the economy. And when the economy improves, that means that businesses hire more people. And right now what we need are businesses who are innovative and ingenious, hiring people to help them grow their business. And anything that's good for business is good for jobs, and right now we need jobs. So I hope you'll go and check out my post on Facebook. Hopefully it'll be on the issues page at valerieforcongress.com as well shortly. Another thing I wanted to talk to you today about are the possibility of supporting a measure to cut Congress's pay. There's 2 other Liberty candidates who have proposed such cuts. Adam Kokesh, who's running for Congress in New Mexico as a Republican, has proposed that Congress members receive the national average salary, which is $38,000 a year. And Jake Town, who is running as an independent in Pennsylvania, he proposed that if he were elected member to Congress, he would only take the average salary of constituents in his district, which is $58,000. Here in Georgia's 8th Congressional District, the average salary is $36,000, and I'm not really sure how realistic it is to expect a member of Congress to travel back and forth to Washington on $36,000 a year. However, I have some other ideas about that. The Constitution only mandates that members of Congress meet once a year, not the way they meet basically all year long now. So if we were to dramatically reduce the number of days that Congress was in session, I think that a salary of $36,000 a year is totally reasonable. And the other idea I have for saving money has to do with cutting the operational budgets of members of Congress where they can. In the 8th District, for example, Jim Marshall has 3 separate offices, and I believe that we could save a lot of money if we utilize technology in a way that made it so that members of Congress had direct access to their constituents, and constituents could reach members of Congress easily through email or utilizing office technologies that people in other industries already use for customer relationship management. So that's another idea I have for saving money. The last thing I want to talk to you about is term limits for members of Congress. And a sweet woman named Melanie Merritt posted on the campaign's Facebook page a request that I support term limits. And I responded to Melanie, and I hope you'll go take a look at it. It's on the discussions page and on the comments on the wall, I think, too. But I basically said, if the constituents of the 8th Congressional District would like me to support term limits, then I will. But personally, if the problem we are having is with lecherous career politicians, then what we don't want are our constituents further removed from the election process. And I believe that's what term limits do. They basically put the process on autopilot. So if you have a pretty bad member of Congress, there's really no incentive for people to get involved to vote them out, because they know that that member of Congress will be voted out anyway. And that Congress member is not going to be responsive to the will of her constituents, because she's going to know that she's not going to be there very long anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So maybe there's a compromise in there somewhere where the term limits are long enough that it makes a difference to those kinds of attitudes. But for me, anything that further removes the people from the process of holding their elected representatives accountable is not a good idea. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed listening to them. I go into further detail about them online, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on this YouTube account. So please stay in touch with us by going to ValerieForCongress.com and signing up to be a volunteer. We're happy to take your donations. I hope you all are having a wonderful week and that you have a happy new year. And I want to remind you, remember to vote for Valerie, and look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail. Have a good evening.